everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Sue. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Here we go. The Guess Who, American Woman, and this is a live version from 1970, and I've never seen it before, so this is going to be fun. All right, this is fun. Burton Cummings has an amazing voice. He can sing a lot of different kinds of songs. He's been known to sing on his own, especially some really kind of tender ballads, and he's got a nice, deep, soft, very rich sounding voice. And in this song, you can hear that he's really doing his very kind of rockin' kind of voice with that grit, that rawness. He's a really, really great singer and songwriter as well. And I'm really enjoying this. This is a lot of fun. I hope you are all enjoying it as well. I think this song was fairly well known most of the places in the world. It was a fairly big hit from what I know. Anyway, this is really, really fun. So I'm just going to rewind it just a teeny weeny bit here.
I don't need
was fun. And, you know, it's fun to hear it live, too, because Burton Cummings' voice is so good that, you know, it doesn't sound that much different than the actual studio recording. You can tell it's not because there's a few little differences in the song, but that is basically the way it sounded off the recording, studio recording, and I think that's impressive. I love it when people can sing and sound as good or better doing something live, and he was no exception. He's a really great singer. Anyway, that was a ton of fun, and I had a really hard time coming up with just one fact for the day because this song actually has so much packed in there about interesting little tidbits. And if you're ever interested in more, just look the song up and see if you can find some more tidbits about this song. But here's some really fun facts. So they were actually playing in an ice rink. Guess who was? In Ontario, not too far from where I live, actually. And back in those days, if you broke a string, it pretty much stopped the show. And Randy Bachman, the guitar player, he broke his string. And so everybody else left the stage, and he was changing his string on his guitar. He was pressing on the piano, hearing, you know, E, he was B, so that he could tune his guitar, because back then they didn't have tuners or anything. And so he's slowly tuning his guitar, and then he starts playing what became the riff for this song. And this was all just happenstance. And so he's playing it, and it all of a sudden dawns on him that this actually sounds amazing. And this is a very famous riff. You know this, if you know this song, as soon as you hear that riff, you know it's going to be American Woman. So he starts playing this, and the audience actually was kind of talking, and they weren't really paying attention too much. And then all of a sudden, they all turn their heads and start listening to him because what he's doing is very cool. And the drummer was actually in the audience, and he actually came up on stage, but he can play the drums. He grabbed the bass and he started playing the bass. And then slowly the rest of the band showed up, and they were all on stage, and Randy Bachman was begging Burton Cummings, he's like, sing something, for God's sake, sing something. And he just came up with the American Woman, and that was basically how that song started. From then, they actually ended up writing it, and it had a very kind of protest kind of song feel to it, because they were really protesting the war in Vietnam that was going on, and at the time they were down in the States, and they were going to be drafted, so they were like, no, we're not doing that, we're coming back to Canada, we're not going to stay down there, we don't want to be drafted into that war. They didn't agree with it. But anyway, there's a lot of little fun facts about this song, so if you're ever interested, you can look it up. But that's a fantastic song, and it really still holds up quite well even after all these years. Obviously, it's over 50 years old, so anyway, I think that wraps it up for the day, and I will see you all again next time, and have a joyful day. Bye-bye.